episode 5 and 6 is in the books, meaning we have 2 episodes left of the season. Don't really know how to do it spoiler free because I haven't written any notes down about the episodes. Uh, Episode 5, we got more of backstory on Chucky, how Chucky met Tiffany, and that all played out amazing. A very surprising kill in that episode. That episode was more or less just the kids getting rid of Chucky, or thinking they did. If I'm thinking correctly on that. Then episode 6 was probably my favorite episode of the season. It's right up there with episode 1. Episode 1 and 2, sorry. As far as the flashback, we didn't get too much. As of right now, I'm trying to talk about this spoiler free. The kills in this one shocked the shit out of me. Episode 5, we also got to learn Bree's secret, and they dive more into that in episode 6. But the kills in episode 6 shocked the shit out of me. I can honestly say episode 6 was probably... It would probably have to be episode 6 to 1, and then 3, 4, and then 5, 3, 4 for me as of right now. Of course, I'm going to go back and rewatch the entire series and give a series review. That's all I can really say spoiler free. Now, we did get the return of Tiffany, Nika, and then Andy and Kyle, which were in the trailers, so I don't see them as too much of spoilers. But going into spoiler territory and breaking down the episodes, episode 5, we had the kids thinking they killed Chucky, and started diving more into their relationships together, their relationships with their parents, so to speak, other than Jake, of course. There's not too much to say about this episode. We did get a cool little nod to Child's Play 2, where instead of just some random name, it was, "Hi, my name's Tommy," the new good guy doll that Carolyn got. So that was a cool little wink back to Child's Play 2, and anybody who never watched Child's Play 2 didn't quite get that. Or wouldn't have gotten that, I'm sorry. We see that, Chucky has taken over Tommy's body. and they destroyed the old Chucky. So they think they're in the clear. They, all that. The way that they find out that Chucky is still out there, the one kill of the episode was, the one kill by Chucky was the principal. So that threw me for a complete loop. I was not really expecting Chucky to kill the principal off, because we hadn't gotten much from the principal. She's been in a few scenes here and there, nothing too major. There's more in this episode I want to talk about, that I just can't think of. Get Tiffany and Nika coming back, episode 5. And we see their dynamic as Nika is taken over by Chucky, and then at the sight of blood, she collapses, and all of a sudden she's back to Nika. We see a little dynamic of them, just going back and forth. Very Bride of Chucky reminiscent. And it was nice. We didn't get too much Chucky and Tiffany, or Nika and Tiffany. We didn't get too little, but it was a very nice balance. Episode 6 starts off with Andy and Kyle being like rogue Chucky, fucking X-Files type shit. We get them killing off one Chucky doll, which was the Chucky doll with the claw that I guess escaped from the mental asylum or whatever it was called, from Cult of Chucky. And it was just amazing. You get the Chucky looking at Andy and saying, "Well, Andy, you made me do this." And the little girl's like, "What?" He pulls out a knife, and Andy pulls out the gun, shoots him in the fucking face. And we get "fuck you, Andy," just sitting there screaming at it. And then we dive into what they've been up to. Andy has been living pretty much in solitude. He's held on to that severed Chucky head, which we find out that Kyle took care of. That kind of upsets me, because I would have liked to see that come back. And she asks him why he kept it for all those years, and he said, "Well, something I learned in military school. Get to know your enemy." And she was asking different questions, which means they haven't really had a chance to catch up. The one thing that stood out to me was he was explaining how Chucky broke his soul into pieces, and he said the last piece didn't go into a doll, which I'm going to get into at the end of the video. We cut to Aunt Bree, who in the last episode we found out that her secret was she had cancer. She talking to her therapist. No, she's not talking to her therapist just yet. That's how that's how the secret was revealed. She is talking to Logan about it. Then she tells Junior. and we're just slowly seeing Junior get broken down. Um, she takes Junior with her to the therapist appointment, and she's like, "Well, I'm denying treatment. I I want to take whatever life has head on." But before she goes up, you hear Chucky's laugh like he's in the car or under the car, which we've seen him do in Child's Play 2, where he grabbed on underneath the bus and rode to school. She said, "Well, I'm taking on whatever's around the corner head on. I'm welcoming it with open arms, blah, blah, blah." And it was right then I knew she was about to die. Chucky meets her out in the hallway and pushes a cart into her, knocks her out the window, and she falls face first onto her car, landing face to face with Junior. The only issue I had with this kill was the fact that there was a cart there as well. They're trying to rule it as a suicide. I'm sorry, if it's a suicide, you're just going to jump out the fucking window. You're not going to push a cart. But, that's just me. But that's just furthering Junior into madness. My mom has cancer. Oh shit, my mom killed herself. They arrest Miss Fairchild on the accounts of murder and all that. Devin's mom apologizes to Devin about being wrong about Jake and everything, and even though they try to tell her, hey, it wasn't Miss Fairchild, she doesn't want to listen to it. Further into the episode, they start watching Cape Fear and using different tactics that are used in that to try to catch Chucky coming in after Andy tells them, hey, he's going to find you. You don't have to find him. And he will find you in a place that he knows, a place where you're vulnerable. So, Jake's like, well, that's Junior's house. We cut to Devin watching Cape Fear, learning how they used a fishing line and a doll to tell if somebody breaks in. And as they're going over this plan, Junior comes in to talk to Lexi, and this is before Junior's mom dies. So he comes in to talk to Lexi about his mom having cancer, and she's preoccupied with them. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. We're over. They go in, they have the little plan go through, or they go through the little plan, and then when it gets set in motion, it doesn't work because Chucky comes down the fucking chimney because he's tiny. Something sets, or I guess he called the cops. Devin's mom shows up, and Chucky pushes her down the fucking steps, and her neck just fucking snaps to the side. The flashback in this episode, we see how Tiffany got her car and how they escape Hackensack. So, I mean, that's literally the entire episode, or the entire flashback. We get a little hint of Chucky being interested in voodoo before meeting John, the voodoo man from Child's Play 1. And we get a call back to a line from Bride of Chucky, which was a true classic, never goes out of style. And the Nika and Tiffany dynamic is more prominent in this episode, to the point that Nika ends up coming through because Tiffany chops the fucking arm off of some dude, splashes her with blood, and brings her through. Well, they start playing poker, and Nika's not playing like Chucky would. So Tiffany ends up stabbing her in the leg where nobody can tell, and when she's not paying attention, she's paralyzed, she doesn't realize it, gives her away. Tiffany's sitting there like, well, just making her think that she's going to kill her, and then she's like, I live for these moments. I live for the fact that I can tell it's you and not Chucky. And they end up buying a house, which was Chucky's childhood home. That's pretty much the entirety of those episodes. And while episode 6 may not have seemed like much, it kept me on edge. Especially the stuff with Junior's mom. I don't know how to say it. Like, I started feeling for her. I liked the character. I did not think she deserved to die. So that is the one time I was sitting there getting pissed off. Like, no, don't fucking kill her. Devon's mom was a pure surprise. Didn't see it coming this early, but at the same time, there is a plan in play that we're still not sure of, and we've got 2 episodes left. Alright, on to some theories. Now, back when I made my initial theory video before episode 1 came out, said that I thought Miss Fairchild was can't think of her name now. Glenda. Sorry. They're pushing that narrative now, which is making me think otherwise. They're making me think that it might be a red herring. Because supposedly Miss Fairchild had a troubled past and had a juvenile record and all this. So they're showing all of that. And either my theory is right, and that is Glenda, or they're trying to get more people on board to have that theory. As far as what I was talking about earlier with Andy, I'm beginning to wonder if part of Chucky's soul did not go into Andy. Just the way he kind of threw it off, like part of his soul, or the last part of his soul didn't go into a doll. Like, if it went into Nika, you would think that he would say it went into a human or into a woman or something. But he's making it, he was very standoffish about it. So I think that very much like Nika, he's able to fight Chucky back. And part of Chucky's soul is in him. But he also knows he's one of the only ones who can eliminate the Chucky dolls. If that makes sense. But anyways, that was episode 5 and 6. I will see you all for either episode 7 or episode 7 and 8. I'm not sure yet. You all have a wonderful day. Tell me what you think in the comment section below.